everyone, welcome to my YouTube series. So I start the day off by going to the donut store to make some cookie dough. And of course, the first thing we do is to wash our hands. This is me testing out the camera angle. Alright, the first step of the cookie dough making process is to cut up the butter. Now, you might be wondering why cold instead of melted. Well, cold butter helps control the texture of the cookie. When the butter is solid, it takes longer to melt in the oven, which means the cookies spread less and stay thick, soft, and chewy. After cutting up the cold butter, I'm adding in my sugars. The brown sugar adds moisture and chewiness, while the granulated sugar helps with structure and a slight crispness on the edges. After creaming the butter and sugars together, it's time to add the flour. In my recipe, I use a mix of cake flour and regular all-purpose flour. The cake flour gives the cookies a softer, more tender texture, while the all-purpose flour adds structure and chew. This combo helps create that perfect thick and chewy cookie. So for this batch of cookies, I am making salted caramel coconut cookies. You might be wondering, where's the egg? Well, I actually add it last. Doing this brings everything together while preventing overmixing, which keeps the cookies from getting too tough. As you can see, the dough comes together super quickly after you add in the egg, so I really have to pay attention here to turn off the mixer when the dough forms. Alright, time to shape the dough balls. Each one is 170 grams and I'm using a scale to make sure they're all accurate and consistent. This way helps cookie bake evenly and gives that perfect bakery style look. After forming all the dough balls, I like to top each one with a few extra chocolate chips. Next up is our Cookie Monster cookie. This one is packed with M&Ms and semi-sweet chocolate chips mixed in, but that's not all. Each cookie is also stuffed with an Oreo and topped with a drizzle of white chocolate. Here I'm stuffing each cookie dough ball with an entire Oreo cookie for that perfect surprise in the middle. Next up is our cookies and cream cookie. It's packed with white chocolate chips, Oreo pieces, and Hershey's cookies and cream chocolate. Here I'm getting ready to form the dough balls. Each cookies and cream cookie is stuffed with an entire Oreo and Hershey's cookies and cream chocolate for that perfect gooey center. So after forming the dough balls, I am topping each additional cookie with some more white chocolate chips. Honestly, this step is probably the most time-consuming and tedious part of making the cookie dough. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to make this faster and easier, please comment below. So here I'm storing my frozen cookie dough balls into a Ziploc bag. Normally I use Tupperware, but the fridge at home doesn't have enough room for all these dough balls. This method helps save space and keeps everything organized. Now we're making white chocolate biscoff cookies. These have a biscoff dough base with biscoff cookie pieces and cookie butter mixed in. Plus, I stuff each one with even more cookie butter for that extra indulgent bite. I shall say this is probably my favorite cookie. Lastly, we have the classic chocolate chip walnut cookies. Just your classic chocolate chip cookie, but with walnuts to add some extra crunch to each bite. It's baking day! First up, we have our white chocolate biscoff cookies. I baked them in the oven and then topped them with a drizzle of cookie butter and a whole lotus biscoff cookie for the extra special touch. And of course, we can't forget to sprinkle some flaky sea salt on top. Next up is the salted caramel coconut cookie. Once the cookies are done baking, I drizzle some homemade caramel sauce on top. I made the caramel with Kerrygold butter for that extra rich, creamy flavor. And yup, flaky sea salt. Here we have our cookies and cream cookie. About halfway through baking, I take them out and top each cookie with Oreo pieces and Hershey's cookies and cream chocolate. So my cookies and cream cookie didn't turn out with the perfect shape, but no worries. I grab a classic random bowl that every Asian household has and fix it right up with a little swirl to get them looking just right. Now we have our Cookie Monster cookie. After it's done baking, I top it with extra M&Ms and drizzle white chocolate on top. After the cookies are all done, decorated, and looking beautiful, I transfer them onto a cooling rack to help them cool down faster. For my cookie packaging, I print and cut my own custom sticker labels using my printer and cutting machine. I wrap each cookie in plastic bags and then stick my logo on the back and the cookie flavor on the front for easy identification. Alright, we're all done. After packaging, the cookies go to a local donut store for retail, and I also ship them nationwide online. Thanks for joining me behind the scenes of my cookie business.